Alright, Ronan MMA, welcome back to the channel. Now, Petr Yan and Merab Dvalishvili are set to face off this Saturday at UFC Fight Night in the main event. Merab Dvalishvili had some choice words for Petr Yan and his country of origin leading up to this fight, which I want to talk about and touch on briefly. But before we do, please like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. I will thank you in advance and then apologize for asking because I'm Canadian, eh? So please like and subscribe. Thank you and sorry, eh? Now, let's get into it, okay? Merab Dvalishvili says, and I quote, "Petr Yan is not a good human. This is personal for me. He's from Russia, and I'm from Georgia. And we all know Russia and what they're doing in Ukraine now, what they did to Georgia. Russia is not a democratic country. I want to win for my people." Okay, now, first of all, Petr Yan ain't got nothing to do with that, my guy. Why are we acting like these fighters that are like in their late 20s or something have anything to do with what the politicians in Russia are doing? I don't think it's fair to just unlimitlessly like shit on somebody because they were born in a country that you view as doing bad things now, okay? And I'm not going to comment on my opinion on the conflict, but I will say that I don't think it's fair that Petr Yan ain't got nothing to do with it, man. I don't even know if he lives in Russia full time, first of all, because he trains out of Tiger Muay Thai, which, if I'm not mistaken, is in Thailand, okay? I'm sure he has residence there. I'm sure he spends time there, but I don't think he's there full time. And secondly, dude, what Russia did to Georgia, which it wasn't Russia, it was the Soviet Union, but okay, same difference, right? You got 1921, dude, was when that happened. Okay? 102 years ago. Petr Yan's grandfather may not have even been alive, let alone his dad or like him for that, right? Like he's not I get that it could be a sore spot for Merab because perhaps like his parents lived under this regime that they have all these horrible stories about, or his grandparents lived, right? Like, but Merab has no idea what this is like because they became their own independent country in 1991. Now, I don't know how old Merab is off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure if he was born, he was an infant with zero memories, right? When they became their own free country again, or their own country again, whatever. And I also don't think that the media would let this slide for any other nationality, right? Like, imagine if every American that fought against somebody like Yair Rodriguez or Alexa Grasso said, "This is personal for me because we all know what the Mexican drug cartels do to the United States of America, and so I want to do this for my people." Could you imagine? Would that go over very well? Could you imagine if an American fighter fighting the Bassarat brothers said something along those same lines, that they want to do it for their people because we all know what Afghanistan does, and I want, like, could you imagine? Just imagine, dude. Could you imagine if every single fucking German fighter that stepped foot into that octagon got called out for what Adolf Hitler did in the 1930s? Like, it's stupid, okay? Nobody picks where they are born. Nobody single-handedly picks what politician is in power. And most certainly, a young fighter is not in, like, Vladimir Putin's inner circle. It makes no sense to me. In my opinion, this is a cheap way, right? A cheap attempt to gain fans, because Merab Dvalishvili is not necessarily the most loved character in America. And his teammate certainly isn't, Aljamain Sterling. So I truly think that this is like a cheap attempt to gain fans and sympathizers, because it just seems like that, man. Otherwise, why would you even bring it up? This is personal for me. You're going to beat up one guy who didn't choose to be born in Russia, who was born 80 years after they did what they did to you, to your country, right? Like, it's just silly. It's silly, man. And it wouldn't fly with any other country. Like, look, there's a lot to be concerned about when it comes to China. Okay? Objectively. I don't want to hear you guys calling me xenophobic or racist in the comments because, first of all, China's a nation, right? So it's nationality. It's not, right? The great Chael Sonnen once said, I think you're confusing race with ethnicity with nationality. When that one American fighter said, I'm sending him back home to China, where he came from, he got relentlessly shit on. If he had said that about another American, I'm sending him back home to Texas, nobody would have given a shit. If he had said it about a Russian fighter today, nobody would give a shit. These guys have nothing to do with it. They have no say where they were born, where they come from, any of it. They have no say in this conflict, any of it. And somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't recall hearing Petr Yan say that he's like totally on board with what's happening. You know what I mean? But even if he was, I'll just throw out this hypothetical. All of the people that get super upset about this stuff are the same kind of people that say that we're supposed to be tolerant to everybody, despite their views being conflicting at times. Like, not, you know, you got to accept Islam, but you also have to accept gay people. Oh, okay. That's strange. But it's just crazy to me, man. It's crazy to me that these guys have nothing to do with it. They're fighters. They're here to fight. They're here to make money for their families. They are not here to stir up this kind of shit. Like, they have nothing to do with it, man. And again, it wouldn't fly if you were to refer to a Mexican person with the cartels. It wouldn't fly if you were to refer to guys from Afghanistan. It wouldn't fly. Like, the media wouldn't be all right with this. They would be framing this in a completely different way. Like they would be accusing them of racism and shit. But because it's against a country right now that you may or may not like what they're doing, dude, neither of these gentlemen were even born. Like, I just can't, man. It's weird. It's weird to me, but it is what it is. And I just wanted to make this quick video talking about it. I think it's a cheap way to try and get fans, and I don't like it. So I'll see you at the next video. Bye-bye.